As we grow older, we often find ourselves at a crossroads, facing a quiet but powerful shift in how we experience the world around us. The things that once seemed urgent or important in our youth slowly fade into the background, replaced by a deeper appreciation for simplicity, peace, and self-awareness. One of the most unexpected realizations for many people entering their 70s and beyond is this: you don't actually need a large circle of friends to live a rich and fulfilling life. This idea may sound strange at first. After all, aren't friendships essential for happiness? Aren't we told throughout our lives that being social is the key to well-being? While companionship and connection are certainly valuable, the truth is more nuanced. As we age, the type of connections we need changes, and in many cases, letting go of the pressure to maintain old friendships can lead to greater peace, clarity, and freedom. In this article, we will explore 6 reasons why having fewer friendships after 70 might actually be a blessing in disguise. This is not about isolation. It's about liberation. It's about honoring your time, your energy, and your truth. If you're in your 70s or heading there soon, this message is for you. Before we get into the main part of the video, please support the channel by hitting the like button, sharing, and subscribing. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell to stay updated with the latest videos. 1. You no longer need to prove yourself. In our earlier decades, much of our social life revolved around validation. We wanted to be liked, accepted, admired. Friendships were often fueled by the need to belong or to be seen in a certain light. Whether it was in our careers, our communities, or even within family circles, many of us spent years trying to earn approval. But after 70, something shifts. You've already lived a lifetime. You've proven yourself 1,000 times over. You no longer need to measure your worth based on how many people invite you to lunch or remember your birthday. Take Harold, a retired executive in his early 70s. Throughout his working life, he maintained a wide network of acquaintances, attending countless events and gatherings. But once he retired, he realized many of those relationships were built on circumstance, not true connection. He found that when the shared purpose disappeared, so did the friendship. Instead of chasing after people who had moved on, Harold began investing in himself. He explored old hobbies, started journaling, and even learned to paint. In the process, he discovered that he no longer needed the validation of others to feel complete. His worth was his own, and it had always been. 2. Peace becomes more valuable than socializing. In our younger years, being surrounded by people can feel energizing. There's excitement in plans, parties, and busy calendars. But with age, many of us begin to crave something else entirely: peace. Peace means quiet mornings, uninterrupted thoughts, and the freedom to go through the day without constant demands. It means not having to answer every text or return every call. It means spending time in nature, reading a good book, or simply enjoying your own company. Margaret, a 74-year-old retired nurse, once had an active social life. Her calendar was filled with lunches, calls, and group events. But over time, she found those interactions more draining than uplifting. Many conversations became repetitive. Some friends only called to vent or gossip. And so, Margaret stepped back. At first, she worried that choosing solitude might make her feel lonely. But she soon discovered something surprising. Solitude gave her clarity, calm, and a renewed sense of joy. She spent her days walking through her garden, writing poetry, and cooking meals for herself with care and attention. The quiet wasn't lonely, it was healing. 3. Fewer friendships mean fewer disappointments. Friendships can bring joy, but they can also bring disappointment. As life unfolds, we all experience moments when people we care about let us down. Maybe they forget an important date, don't return a call, or simply drift away when we need them most. William, at 78, had seen friendships come and go. Some faded due to distance, others because of changing interests or misunderstandings. He often found himself being the one who called, who checked in, who remembered birthdays. But when he needed support, few friends showed up. Eventually, William realized that holding on to unbalanced relationships was exhausting. So he let go. He stopped calling people who never called back. He stopped trying to fix friendships that no longer brought him joy. In doing so, he freed himself from the constant cycle of expectation and disappointment. The fewer relationships he maintained, the more space he had for genuine connection. and for his own peace of mind. 4. Your time becomes more precious. Time is the most valuable gift we have, and with age, its worth only increases. When we're younger, we often give our time away freely. We spend hours at events we don't enjoy, listen to conversations that drain us, and engage in relationships that no longer serve us. But in your 70s, every moment matters more. You begin to ask, is this how I want to spend my day? Does this person add value to my life or take it away? Richard, now 82, was once the life of every party. But over time, those parties became tiring. He noticed that he often left social gatherings feeling more exhausted than fulfilled. One afternoon, after a particularly long and uneventful lunch, he made a decision. No more saying yes out of habit. He started spending his time more intentionally. Long walks, quiet afternoons with his favorite records, learning about astronomy, things that truly lit him up. His days became simpler but far richer. When you value your time, you start choosing people and experiences that honor it. And in doing so, you reclaim your life. 5. True companionship comes from within. Perhaps the greatest myth about aging is that being alone means being lonely. But solitude, when chosen with intention, can be one of the most fulfilling experiences of all. Eleanor, 76, once believed that she needed to stay socially busy to feel connected. But over time, she noticed that despite being surrounded by people, she often felt unseen. Her conversations were surface level, her energy drained. So she did something radical. She stopped. She stopped attending every gathering, stopped saying yes to every invitation, and started spending time with herself, as if she were her own best friend. She read, she walked, she reflected. She even began writing letters to herself, filled with gratitude and honesty. And in that space, she found the kind of companionship she had been searching for in others. When you nurture a deep relationship with yourself, you stop depending on others for fulfillment. You find joy in your own presence, wisdom in your own thoughts, and peace in your own rhythm. 6. Letting go opens the door to a fuller life. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about making space. Space for new insights, new joys, and a deeper connection to the life you actually want to live. James, a vibrant 79-year-old, once believed that staying busy and socially connected was the secret to aging well. He maintained dozens of acquaintances, attended every event, and prided himself on always being available. But deep down, he felt tired. The conversations were repetitive, the gatherings uninspired. One day he asked himself, what if I stopped? And so he did. He let go of the obligation to maintain every friendship. He allowed some relationships to fade, trusting that the ones that mattered would remain. In their place, he discovered something beautiful: spaciousness. Spaciousness to explore new passions, to spend mornings in silence, to walk slowly, to cook thoughtfully, to breathe deeply. And in that space, he found a deeper joy than any crowded room had ever offered. Final thoughts. A life by your design. Aging is not about becoming less. It's about becoming more. More yourself, more aware, more at peace. You do not need to fill your days with friends to feel fulfilled. You do not need to cling to relationships that have run their course. What you need is truth, intention, and the courage to walk your own path. This doesn't mean closing your heart. It means opening it to what really matters, to the simple pleasures, to the quiet wisdom, to the freedom that comes from living life on your own terms. Maybe today is the day you stop chasing old friendships and start cultivating a deeper friendship with yourself. Maybe today is the day you stop fearing solitude and start embracing the serenity it offers. Because at this stage in life, you deserve nothing less than a life that feels true. A life that reflects who you are, not who others expect you to be. A life filled not with noise, but with meaning. Let go, slow down, breathe deep, and walk forward with grace. You are enough. You always have been.